Let's jump right in here and get ready for a deep dive into Brazilian soccer.
Sounds good.
We're talking, legendary teams, nail-biting finishes, passionate fans, the whole 9 yards. Today we're breaking down Flamengo's Copa do Brasil victory.
It was pretty wild.
And we've got a great source for this one. It really captures all the excitement of that game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So get ready for epic goals, maybe some controversial moments, and a whole lot of passion.
Buckle up.
So Flamengo just won their 5th Copa do Brasil title, right?
Uh-huh.
They beat Atlético-MG 1-0 in the second leg of the final.
Right, which brought their aggregate score to 4-1. That's a pretty dominant performance overall.
Yeah, 5th title. I mean, that puts them up there with the best, doesn't it?
It does. They're tied with Grêmio for second most Copa do Brasil titles. Cruzeiro's still on top, though, with 6.
Wow, so Flamengo's coming for that top spot. And that final goal from Gonzalo Plata. What a way to seal the deal. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Chipped it right over the keeper's head. Beautiful goal. One for the highlight reels.
Absolutely. A moment that'll be talked about for a long time. But then, in the middle of all the celebrations, there's this huge announcement.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Gabigol.
Yeah, Gabigol.
Yeah.
The team's star striker scored 2 goals in the first leg. And then, just like that, he says he's leaving Flamengo.
Dropped a bombshell. And to make it even more dramatic, he's going to Cruzeiro. Talk about a rivalry.
It's got to be bittersweet for the fans, right?
Oh.
Celebrating this huge win, but also losing a star player to their rivals, no less.
Yeah, I can only imagine what's going through their minds. It's like, we're the champions. But wait, Gabigol's leaving.
A lot to process for sure. And then things get even crazier after the game.
Yeah, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
So after that winning goal, there's an explosion near the Flamengo players. I mean, talk about a scary situation. And then someone throws a cup from the stands and it hits Gabigol. It's like, come on, can't they just celebrate in peace?
Yeah, kind of a dark turn of events, and the match had to be stopped for a bit because of it.
Unbelievable. I guess it shows how intense things can get, especially in a big rivalry match.
For sure. And to top it all off, after the game ends, Atlético-MG fans rush the field. Total chaos.
It's like a reminder that passion can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah, sometimes it spills over, and it's unfortunate because it takes away from what should have been a purely joyous occasion for Flamengo.
Definitely puts a damper on things. But hey, let's not forget about Atlético-MG, right?
Mm-hmm.
This game was a big deal for them, too.
It was their first game in their brand new stadium, Arena MRV. Pretty historic moment, even if they lost.
That's right. Over 44,000 people were there. A record crowd for the stadium.
Electric atmosphere. You could feel the energy in the air. I bet they were hoping for a different result, though.
Yeah, instead, Flamengo gets to be the first team to win a title in the new arena.
And they made a lot of money from that match, too. Over 10 million reais in revenue. Not bad for an opening night.
Wow. Talk about a memorable debut. But, even in the loss, Atlético-MG had some bright spots.
Oh, yeah. Their goalkeeper, Everson, was phenomenal. He made some incredible saves.
I heard about that. Especially in the second half, he kept them in the game.
He almost single-handedly stopped them at times. Made a save right on the goal line. It was amazing.
So even in defeat, there were moments of brilliance. But overall, it's got to be a tough pill to swallow for Atlético-MG. Losing a final, Gabigol going to their rivals, and then that whole post-game chaos.
Definitely not the ending they were hoping for.
It's a lot to process, for sure.
It is.
But the season isn't over yet, right?
Oh, no. Not even close.
There's still a lot more soccer to be played.
And a lot more drama, I'm sure.
So let's dive into what's next for both of these teams, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, so where do we even begin?
Well, let's start with Atlético-MG. They've still got the Copa Libertadores final coming up.
Right, against Botafogo.
Huge match.
Yeah, so for people like me who might not be as familiar with all the different competitions in Brazilian soccer, what exactly is the Copa Libertadores?
Good question. Think of it as the South American Champions League. It's the most prestigious club competition in the continent.
Oh, wow. So the best of the best.
Exactly. And for Atlético-MG, this is their chance to redeem themselves after that Copa do Brasil loss.
I see. A shot at glory.
And a potential spot in the FIFA Club World Cup. So yeah, the stakes are pretty high.
That's intense. So this final, it could make or break their season.
Absolutely. And to add fuel to the fire, the Libertadores final is right after they play Botafogo in the Brazil round.
Wait, so they play them twice in a row, back to back?
Yep. First in the league, then in the Libertadores final. Talk about a pressure cooker.
I can't even imagine. That's got to be a huge mental challenge.
It is. And it's not just about the physical game either. It's a psychological battle, too.
Two massive games against their biggest rivals. I mean, how do you even prepare for that?
Well, it's interesting because Atlético-MG is currently sitting in 11th place in the Brasileirão. Not ideal. So that first match against Botafogo, it could be a chance for them to gain some momentum, get a win under their belt and build some confidence heading into the Libertadores final.
Like a warm-up for the main event?
Yeah, exactly. But Botafogo won't be just rolling over for them. This is a huge rivalry. Every match is a battle.
So we've got this Libertadores final coming up, Atlético-MG trying to climb up the ranks in the Brasileirão, and this intense rivalry with Botafogo. It sounds like things are about to explode in Brazilian soccer.
Oh, yeah. And we haven't even talked about Flamengo yet.
That's right. They're still in the mix, too.
Back in action on November 20th against Cuiabá in the Brasileirão.
And they've already secured a spot in the 2025 Copa Libertadores group stage, haven't they?
They have. So they're going into these last few matches with a bit less pressure than Atlético-MG, but I doubt they'll be taking it easy.
They've got a reputation to uphold after all.
Exactly. Plus, a strong finish in the Brasileirão is always important for building momentum for the next season.
It's all connected.
It is. And speaking of connections, did you see how some of the Brazilian players abroad reacted to Flamengo's Copa do Brasil victory?
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Vinicius Jr., Real Madrid star. He was celebrating in a Flamengo jersey.
Oh, way. That's awesome. Shows how much it means to these guys, even when they're playing on the biggest stage in the world.
It's more than just a club. It's like a family.
A brotherhood.
And Lucas Paquetá, he plays for West Ham in England. He sent a message to Felipe Luis, Flamengo's coach, congratulating him on his first title.
That's pretty cool. It really shows how much this victory resonates beyond just the players and fans in Brazil.
For sure. It's a story that's captured the hearts of people all over the world.
So we've got international breaks, rivalries heating up, the Copa Libertadores final on the horizon. Where do we even go from here?
Well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? The story's not over yet. There's so much more to come.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither.
It's like a soap opera, but with way more running.
And way more fancy footwork.
That's a good way to put it. But one thing that struck me about this Copa do Brasil final was this idea of passing the torch, I guess you could call it.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Gabigol's departure. It's the end of an era for Flamengo, but it also opens up a space for new stars to emerge.
Exactly. I mean, think about all the young players on both sides who are part of this historic match.
They saw the intensity, the pressure, the passion of the fans, and they learned from it.
And now they have the opportunity to take what they learned and make their own mark on the game.
It's the circle of life in football. One generation inspires the next.
It's beautiful, really.
Yeah.
And it makes you appreciate the history and the legacy of this sport.
Absolutely. It's about so much more than just winning or losing. It's about carrying on a tradition.
And inspiring future generations.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole story so captivating. It's about passion, dedication, and the pursuit of excellence.
Well said. It's been an incredible journey so far, exploring the world of Brazilian soccer. But before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
I'm all ears.
How does this single event, with all its drama, its excitement, its cultural significance, reflect the broader emotions and loyalties that surround soccer in Brazilian society?
That's a great question. It's something to really think about. Because beyond the goals, the trophies, the rivalries, there's a deeper story here.
A story about the power of sport to unite and inspire.
And to captivate an entire nation.
Beautifully said. Well, folks, that's it for today's deep dive into Flamengo's Copa do Brasil victory. We've explored the triumphs, the controversies, the passion, and the legacy of this incredible event.
And we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to discover.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep cheering, and keep the love of the beautiful game alive.
See you next time.
Yeah, it really is like a soap opera sometimes.
Right. All the drama and the rivalries.
Exactly. In this Copa do Brasil final, it really felt like there was this underlying theme of, I don't know, like a changing of the guard almost.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
Like with Gabigol leaving Flamengo. It's the end of an era, but it also creates this space for new players to step up.
It's like passing the torch.
Yeah, exactly. And think about all those young players on both sides who were part of this incredible match.
They witnessed history, that's for sure.
They saw firsthand how intense things can get. The pressure, the passion from the fans. It's a learning experience unlike any other.
And now it's their turn to write their own chapter in the story of Brazilian soccer.
And who knows, maybe one of those young players will become the next Gabigol.
Or even better.
It's exciting to think about the future of the game. And it makes you appreciate how each generation builds on the legacy of those who came before them.
It's a beautiful cycle.
It really is. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From Flamengo's historic victory to the upcoming Copa Libertadores final.
And everything in between.
It's been a wild ride. But before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with a question to ponder.
Okay, hit me.
This Copa do Brasil final, it was more than just a game, right? It was a cultural event, a moment that captured the hearts and minds of people all over Brazil.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It transcended sports.
Exactly. So the question is, how does this one event, with all its drama and excitement, reflect the broader emotions and loyalties that surround soccer in Brazilian society?
It's a deep question, and I don't think there's a simple answer.
But it's something worth thinking about. Because beyond the goals, the trophies, the rivalries, there's a deeper story here.
There's a story about the power of sport to unite a nation, to ignite passions, and to create memories that will last a lifetime.
Well said. Well, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dives into Flamengo's Copa do Brasil victory. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the heart of Brazilian soccer.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another exciting deep dive. Until then, keep the passion for the beautiful game alive.
See you later.